All right, what is going on, guys? Today we are back with another video. It's actually another TikTok video, so should be a good one, should be an exciting one. And today we're actually talking about a somewhat trendy topic. We are going to be talking about gym creeps. Now, I know that a lot of you guys have probably seen the original video that kind of kicked this all off. Obviously, Joey Swole did a stitch on it, which it kind of explained it, and it's been talked about by basically everybody under the sun at this point, so I'm not going to be talking about it. If you want to watch somebody talk about it who I think would say the points that I would probably say pretty similarly, I would go check out Critical's video where he basically just breaks down that one TikTok and talks about it. Now, getting into my video instead of just plugging other people's, I am a gym goer myself. Now, not all the time. In fact, I've actually been pretty bad at it recently, but there was a point where I was going to the gym like all the time, right? I'm not like a stranger to the gym. I understand the gym. I understand a lot of the etiquette and stuff like that. So when I see stuff like this, it's kind of like, okay, there's a lot of ways you can look at a lot of these things. Now, before we go any further into this, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of creepy dudes at gyms. In fact, at the one I go to, there's a pretty notoriously creepy dude. He does a bunch of weird shit all the time, and is just overall kind of a weird dude. Like he doesn't really lift. He doesn't have great form. Most of the time, it's like you can kind of tell he's just lifting to look like he's kind of doing something. And then he'll go talk to some girl, do something else stupid, and then talk to some other girl. Like those are the dudes that you really have to look out for, because this dude is genuinely creepy. Plus, he is a little older. It's overall kind of a creepy vibe coming off of this dude, right? There's not a whole lot of like, oh, this dude looks like a trustworthy fucking dude that I want to have stare at me as I work out. And in that situation, yeah, it's completely justified. I understand why girls and women and, just anybody, I guess, in the gym in general doesn't want people like that staring at them. It's like, that's not why I'm here. I'm not here to get stared at, blah, 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 blah. All that good stuff, right? And it is creepy, and women do end up in those situations a lot where it is real and it is actually a threat, and it's good to be able to look at those and say that's a threat and keep yourself safe from it. Obviously I have no issue with that. That's completely fine. What I do have an issue with, though, is some of these TikToks that we're going to look at today. Now, I only have two because I don't want to make this like the longest video in the world. And I do apologize. There is going to be no audio in them. We're going to format the video a little different. Normally, I play the TikTok and then talk about it after. Today, I'm just going to be talking about the TikTok as we watch the TikTok, because I'm trying to cut down on how much I get copyright claimed, because it happens a lot. So I'm not trying to have that happen to like every video. So instead, today we're just going to be talking through the TikTok. Plus, I think it'll work a little better because some of these are a tiny bit longer. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the first one. Here we go. All right, so with this first one here, we have, this dude walking up. This girl is squatting. She's doing what's called goblet squats. And this dude walks up, and, you can see him take a couple glances, and then his workout is kind of weird. I personally, haven't seen a whole lot of people do that, but, it's not something I do or anything. But, whatever, people do weird workouts sometimes. It is what it is. We're not here to judge everybody's form or workout or shit like that. But she's doing her thing. Right. I'm assuming somebody's filming her, or I don't know, or she just zoomed in on this footage or something weird. But it is kind of weird that he's like the subject of this. Now, I don't know how real this video is or how fake this video is or whatever. But we're just going off of the assumption that it's real. And now he walks over, like I said, like we saw in the TikTok, walks over, takes a glance at her, starts doing his thing, takes another glance, keeps doing his thing, and then, glances maybe once or twice more. Now, why is this not creepy in my opinion? Well, at gyms, typically, there are mirrors all over the place, because it's often good, or at least good practice, to watch yourself work out. Because when you watch yourself work out, you can often sit there and look at yourself while you're doing the workout, and you could kind of critique your own form, like at the moment. You could see like, oh, I'm kind of fucking up here. Like, oh, what am I doing over there? Like, let's try and fix this while I'm still doing this set, rather than like, say, having to record yourself all the time and then go, oh shit, look at that, I'm fucking that up, let's go back and fix it in the next set. You could just kind of work on better form as you go instead of it having to be like a stop-start process. So, while I'm not 100% sure what seems really likely in this situation, given where she's chosen to do her squats, there's probably a mirror right in front of her. And if that's the case, this guy might not be looking at her. It might just be that, unfortunately, the machine that he's trying to use is right behind her and he's trying to see himself in the mirror, which is probably why he's so like awkward about it. And instead of just like staring directly at the mirror, which you would think somebody would do if they're doing stuff like this, instead he's kind of like taking a glance, looking away, taking a glance, looking away, because he probably feels a little uncomfortable and doesn't want to be, caught out for like staring at this girl, and when he's really just trying to see the mirror. So he's like, fuck, like she's right in my way, shit, like fuck, but whatever, I'll deal with it. I mean, like I said, I don't know. This is all subjective. I wasn't there, but from what I can see, that's probably what's happening here. So it's kind of fucked up to be like, oh shit, look at this dude. I caught this creepy ass dude staring, and now I'm going to make fun of his fucking workout. Like, he's clearly doing shit. He's clearly not just following you around. He has a fucking notebook with him, and my dude is peeled, okay? Like, the guy is clearly in good shape. It's not like he's just at the gym to fucking look at people, like he's clearly doing shit for him. And also I said, I like this workout was weird as fuck. It's just kind of like a row. But I don't know why you would really do that there, but I mean, whatever feels good for him. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think that this dude is necessarily creepy or doing anything in the wrong here. Now for the next one, which we're moving on to right now, let's go ahead and we're watching this, right? So she's here. It looks like she's probably deadlifting or maybe lunging. I don't know. She's doing something. I don't know what she did there. This dude in the back, he looked over, and you can see he's kind of looking over every once in a while, talking to this other dude. Now, he did probably look at her. I can't deny that, right? It's impossible to deny that and say, oh, no, he never looked at her or anything like that. He probably did. But here's another thing that happens in the gym. Now, being a human being, and the fact that every person is a human being, your eyes are going to be drawn to movement. That's basically the same for everybody. And it happens with everybody in the gym. You are drawn to movement. That's why when people think like, oh, this person's staring at me and it's weird and like they're judging me or something like that, like they probably aren't. It's probably just they're not doing anything, you're doing something, and you just happen to catch their eye real quick, and they probably looked away before, longer than, like, they were probably looking for a shorter amount of time than you even really thought. It just felt longer because the focus was on you. And, typically that's how that feels, especially if you're not like planning on it. So here he kind of looks over. She did something. He's looking, and then he's looking at the other dude like, oh, wow. Like, that's interesting. And now, why do I not have a problem with this? Because typically I would have a problem with this, right? But they kind of look, and she's doing something, and then they look back. They're like, oh, yeah, like they're talking, they're having a conversation. And the thing with this is like, you can get impressed in the gym, right? You can get impressed. You can see something and go, oh, wow, like that's impressive, whatever that person did. Oftentimes when I'm looking at somebody, I'm like, wow, dude, like that's a lot of weight. Holy shit. Like, good shit, good for this dude or good for this girl. Like, that's crazy. Or in other circumstances, I'm looking at people to try and see what workouts they're doing, because sometimes if people are on similar splits, I'm not the most experienced person in the gym. So I'm going to look over and be like, oh, this dude kind of looks like he knows what he's doing. That's like an interesting workout. Or like, this girl knows what she's doing. That looks kind of interesting. Maybe I'm going to try that or something. Or even sometimes you just glance over to see like, oh, is that person still using that? Because maybe you want something, maybe you've been waiting for it. Who knows? I mean, this dude has a belt on. For all we know, that's the only barbell that's open in the gym or some shit. And he's like, fuck, I'm looking for a barbell, I apologize for the weird ass noises. My dog is like on me and she is making some strange noises today. But as for this dude, like, I don't really think he was staring in like a creepy way. If anything, he's, just glancing every once in a while. And if anything, he's like, wow, like, that's impressive or whatever. Like, she looks good, It's not so much of a creepy stare, I feel, because let's be honest, we all walk around. We all go outside, right? Well, maybe not. Maybe some of us don't. But a good majority of us like to go outside every once in a while and touch grass, right? See other people, fucking do shit like that. When you're outside like that, you often are going to look at other people and go, oh, hey, that person's attractive. Or like, oh, shit, that's a decent looking person. You see them for a couple seconds. Maybe you take a glance or two and then you move on with your day. And that's kind of what this dude did. I don't really see anything wrong with that. Plus, there's kind of a lot of reasons. If he's not like following you around or anything like that, then I don't see the issue with it. Like if he's purposely like following you around and keeps looking and keeps staring and you're like, dude, like this is kind of weird. You got to stop staring. Or if he's just like dead locked on or some shit. But no, I think these dudes are just kind of talking and looking around the fucking gym because it happens. You just kind of look around. They look at each other. They look somewhere else. They do this. Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal. It just seems like two dudes working out when it's impossible. You would look weird if you didn't look at something, like if you just stared at the fucking wall, you'd look fucking weird. People would be like, what the hell is wrong with this dude? Like he's just dead locked onto the wall or some shit. Like that's weird, And I guess like a more normal thing to do would be like check your phone or some shit like that. But I don't know. To me, this doesn't feel that fucking criminal. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video though. I hope you guys can kind of learn for when you're in the gym. Don't be a creep. I'm not advocating to be a creep, but sometimes, especially if you're a girl, like sometimes dudes are just trying to fucking find something to look at in between sets or something. Like their eyes are just moving around the gym because they're not currently focused on something. And sometimes it happens to land on you. It's not always a creepy thing. And no, you don't deserve to get stared at just for being a girl or anything like that. That's obviously, I wouldn't want to be stared at. You don't want to be stared at. But sometimes it happens. Sometimes people end up looking your way. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they're creeping on you. It could just mean that they're like looking at you or they saw you do something and they're like, oh, like that was kind of interesting or something, that caught my attention, but now I'm moving on to something else. So yeah, just kind of be aware of that. Try and give people the benefit of the doubt. If it does become a little too much to where it's like, okay, this is hard to like throw off as like this dude was just glancing or this guy was just doing this or doing that. Like if it's in that case, then fair fucking play, like then you're completely in the right. But outside of that, I don't know, just try and give people the benefit of the doubt. I like to look at things on the positive and think most people probably aren't creeps, especially in the gym, because in the gym, a lot of people are just focused on themselves and what they're doing, bettering themselves and shit like that. It is January, I know, so there is a shit ton of like weird ass people in the gym still from New Year's, trying to be new gym people, but don't worry, it'll go away soon. So yeah, I don't know what I think of this. It's kind of stupid. I think Joey Swole talking about it is kind of stupid. Personally, I'm not even a fan of like recording myself in the gym or anybody else in the gym because that feels weird. You don't know who you're catching in your recording, and maybe they don't want to be recorded. That's another thing. A lot of people, sometimes they just look at a camera. I know when I'm in the gym and somebody has a camera, I'm like looking at that person all the fucking time or looking at the camera because I'm like, what the fuck is this person doing? I don't want to walk into their shot right now or some shit, or like, are they recording? Oh, fuck. Like, that's kind of me, but I don't know. So this, she's overall fucking dumb. Just go to the gym, do your own shit. Try not to worry too much about other people. If people are really being creepy and like walking up to you or trying to like touch you or anything like that, yeah, tell them fuck off. But outside of that, I don't know. I feel like I've made that point a bunch of times, but I'm just really trying to speak my mind on this video. So I hope you guys did enjoy, though. If you did, make sure you leave a like and hit that subscribe button. I know this one was a little ranty. I do apologize. But yeah, as always, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you guys later. Goodbye.